All right, we're going to talk about how rotting is not resting. You are someone that thinks getting in from a long day at work, going upstairs, sitting on your bed and scrolling every single day is actually restorative for your brain. And somewhere deep down, you know that if you took all that stimulation away, there would be this like super unsettling feeling that you are the only person to blame for not getting on with the tasks that you need to do. But I am here to tell you that time management and discipline management is literally just emotion management. You are dealing with too much overload emotionally. You're too stressed and you don't have a way to deal with that stress, process that emotion. And that is why the only thing you can choose at the end of the day is numbing yourself out by just scrolling on TikTok for hours. And that's okay. I've been there for such a long time. I also genuinely thought that doing that was actually what my brain needed. But I would also be stuck in the cycle of never going to bed on time, always feeling sleepy, always feeling like I was avoiding something. Properly resting actually requires you no longer avoiding those feelings, those unsettling worries, and the reasons why you're not facing yourself and finally living and listening to what you want to do. If you keep coming back to the same question of like, why am I so lazy? Why can't I do this? Why am I struggling with this so much? First of all, stop shaming yourself, okay? Enough of that to go around. Second of all, you aren't lazy. You are not lazy. Your ancestors starved for days on end until they found a bush of berries. They hunted woolly mammoths. Those genes live in you. You are not lazy. The question that you should be asking is, how do I balance the right amount of stress and find the right rest that is restorative for my brain so that I can actually stop myself from overloading, move on to the tasks that I need to do, stick to my goals, be consistent with it, and start the next thing that I said I was going to do on my to-do list? We're going to have to do some brain conditioning. First thing is, stop shaming yourself for getting into these states. Being able to switch between one task and the next task and the next task and being consistently productive, it's all about being able to pick yourself up and give yourself a pep talk and keep pushing through when things are difficult. When I had so much shame, it would just make me feel this all or nothing. If I could get a task done on the right time or the right schedule, it would just make the task 10 times harder to do because I felt like I was living to some unbelievable standard in my own head. And if you have a negative voice in your head, it's literally no different from imagining someone standing, staring over at you washing the dishes, being like, why aren't you doing this good enough? Why aren't you doing this fast enough? You're lazy, you're pathetic, you can't do this. Like, everyone else can do this. If you're doing that, if that's the way that you're talking to yourself in your head, you are doubling the work. Not only have you got to go and actually do the slog of the dishes, do the laundry, get yourself in the shower, you've also got to fight the demons up here. The definition of stress is literally an imbalance between the demands that are placed on you and your perceived ability and resources to be able to cope with those demands. So if you're not hyping yourself up, if you're not being kind to yourself in your head, if you're not giving yourself a pep talk, then you are going to feel more stressed about your ability to do these things, and you are going to go into more of a like spiral and want to just rock. So you've got to find ways to be kind to yourself, whether that's therapy and having a therapist see you for who you are, or having a close friend give you a pep talk, whatever it needs to be. If you can do that, even the most basic of adult tasks begin to feel a lot easier, a lot lighter, and you won't feel like you need as much motivation to be able to do those things. So we need to be really kind to ourselves, but we also need to do a bit of brain emptying. Your cognitive functioning, it's literally impaired when you are stressed. These emotions have been accumulating to a maximum degree. We need to bring them here before we're able to handle taking on a next step. What I like to do is set specific moping times and groaning and grumpy times. 5-10 minutes when I walk in the door after work. Could be before you start your day. If you're more of a morning person, do this as a little like morning brain dump in their diary. I can see how much I'm just like a completely moody bitch in my diary because I'm just so annoyed about things or I'm so overwhelmed, but usually I can just get that all out into the page and then I can move forward with the next things that I need to move on to. This is a non-negotiable mental hygiene. You've got to do it. Whether that's going to be like screaming in a pillow or just getting some frustration out with exercise, you could just be like this guy.
Misery Monday, I am a child, I don't want to work. I don't want to work, I don't want to work, I don't want to work.
And yes, I can already hear you guys being like, but then I just let that 5 minutes turn into 20 and then pick up my phone because I hate how I'm feeling. I just want to avoid the discomfort. I get it. Sometimes I'm like, I can't sit down. I can't sit down because I'm going to be cooked. Like, I'm going to be fucked. I'm not going to get back up for the rest of the evening. Okay, how do you get up and kick yourself up the arse after that 5-10 minutes of just decompressing? Touch something. One thing. Just touch it, okay? If you need to go sort the dishes out, touch the dish. If you need to wipe the counters, touch the cloth. Sweep or mop, you just go touch the mop. That's it. That's all you need to do. I know it seems really stupid, but like sometimes that's actually just enough to be like, okay, I'm here now and I should probably just get on with it. If you've taken that de-stress time and you're like, I don't think I actually do have the energy to do this, fine, literally fine. Just cut the task in half, cut it into a quarter. Just get something done that is more than doing nothing. For example, if you needed to do the dishes, right, and you need to put them in the dishwasher, start by rinsing the dishes. Just tell yourself you're just gonna rinse the dishes. And like, you'll end up gaslighting yourself enough to be like, like it's only one more step, one more baby step. I've already rinsed it. I've got this far. I should probably put it in the dishwasher. And then you've done the task. Reduce executive decisions that you have to take throughout the day. If you are completely overextended, you are not going to have the capacity to take on loads of new projects. You can't go and run a YouTube channel. You're not going to be able to start training for a marathon. You need to be realistic about what you actually can handle, which means saying no to lots of things and cutting out a lot of decisions in your life. For me, for example, that would be like buying paper plates. This is so embarrassing. I was really struggling to handle the dishes and just getting those done. And I feel like that's quite a nice lazy girl hack to handle. Just like, all I can do right now is cook dinner and nothing more. It doesn't need to be dishes or paper plates. Stick to a rough uniform every day, same socks, same color pants, same knickers. Obviously, this is not for everyone. If you like clothes, if it's something that brings you genuine joy, don't worry about it. Choose another decision. Simplify your task at the gym. My job is to just show up to the gym and do something for 30 minutes. No complex training plan, just 30 minutes of one of the exercise machines on the gym. Sometimes that can reduce the friction enough for you to actually go and do it on a really difficult, stressful day. Even something as simple as, you know what, fucking hell, I don't have time for several different products and steps in my skincare routine. Like, it's just not a priority I can focus on right now. When you start looking for how many decisions you take in a day, you're going to realize there are so many that you can cut out. There is also the mental exhaustion of going around and around in your head thinking about doing something, and the dopamine that releases instead of just doing the task. Task initiation requires dopamine, but if you have a maladaptive coping mechanism like daydreaming about doing stuff, often your brain is releasing dopamine thinking about doing the task than actually doing it. Using social media on top of that, doing scrolling, your dopamine sensitivity is severely reduced. You're frying your circuits even harder when it comes to initiating and starting tasks. And that's why it's so common that you're up until 12 at night watching 100 videos about changing your life, and then you finish the video and you don't even start doing it. So in order to start a task has got to be one of three things. It needs to either be interesting, urgent, or new and novel enough for you to want to start it. Otherwise, nothing's happening. So for example, if I'm doing the dishes and it doesn't feel urgent enough and it's obviously not new enough, I will have to give myself a little dopamine snack in the form of a bit of music or an interesting podcast in order to just get the task done. There are other ways that you can bring urgency into a task, like creating a social contract between you and your housemate or your boyfriend in order to get the dishes done in time. One thing I did when I wanted to reduce my social media use was I gave my screen time password to my boyfriend, and that created a social contract and friction in terms of stopping me from slipping into doom scrolling again. But again, that's just one thing that worked for me. You should be picking systems that work for you and stick to only one system. I'm so convinced that I need to buy another diary or another journal, and that's the thing that's going to actually solve the problems that I've been struggling to get through mentally in my own head, and getting addicted to like the new best hack or the new best system and doing something. But actually, that's just another form of procrastinating and avoiding. I'll see people use 3 different project management tools, and you're just duplicating, tripling the work. That reminds me so much of my favorite quote, and it's by The Strangest Loop, and it says, preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. And the only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. Journaling and having some kind of reflection practice, it will not allow you any chance to hide or avoid from the fact that you didn't get the thing done. You're just talking about doing the thing in the diary. The journal is supposed to become this scaffold outside of your head, so you don't have to guess whether you are moving along with something. You can catch yourself in the act of doing that and then switch your behavior the next time that you're doing it. Every time you log it, you can look back and be like, I've got evidence that I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm becoming the better person. And if you're someone that really struggles to face yourself in your journal, I don't really know or have any advice to give you other than life is about taking risks and moving forward. Changes is hard. Doing difficult things is so hard. I don't think it's easy, and I don't want you to think it's going to be easy. But at the same time, what is the other option? Being mediocre, hating yourself because you have all these big dreams and you never actually achieve them, and just living with regret for the rest of your life. This is what people talk about when they say creating an anti-vision, where you would be at the end of your life, hating that you hadn't taken risks and you hadn't been courageous and you hadn't tried. Like, what is the worst case scenario? For me, that was rotting behind a corporate desk. In order to scare myself enough, I created a little AI mock-up of me, old and haggard behind a corporate desk. And that is what motivates me every single day to get up, to write the YouTube script, to do the research, to come here and to film on this channel. What other option do you have? What other option do you have? You know that quote where people say, people change because they hurt enough that they have to, they learn enough that they want to, or they receive enough that they are able to? I'll walk you through those steps, okay? Oh my God, the Chinese, that is so embarrassing. I apologize. Right, number one, people change when they hurt enough. You are gonna have to become so fucking miserable and annoyed at yourself by reflecting, by looking at your journal and saying, I didn't do the things that I said I was gonna do today. You're gonna have to hate what you're doing, and you're gonna have to journal every day and realize that this is not the life that you wanted. I genuinely look at that every single day, and it helps motivate me to know that I do not want to be doing what I'm doing, and I just need to kick myself up the arse, start editing, upload and post. And people don't change until they learn enough that they want to. You got a problem? Go ask. There's a wealth of human knowledge and information out there, and people who are going through the exact same thing as you, the exact same journey. All you need to do is get out there and ask, and they can help deconstruct and solve your problems. That was one of the things I had to go over. I was like so convinced these other people couldn't possibly know how to solve this problem that I'm struggling with. Babe, like, get over yourself. There's hundreds of people that have been through the same things that I'm going through, and I just need to find the right resource. And maybe that was avoidance of the fact that I have sat there and wasted so much time not solving the problem. This was something I did for ages. I just thought that I was supposed to solve the problems. I was supposed to figure this out myself. Like, everyone else just does that, right? No, okay, nobody else just does that. The people you see thriving have probably had so much help. Help yourself by reading and learning as much as you can about the things that you want to solve in your life. 3, people don't change until they receive enough that they are able to. Sometimes it takes someone else receiving you for who you are, having that positive energy and positive affirmation in your life in order to make you feel like you're really capable of handling these difficult things, doing the tasks, and that you're worthy of having a clean house, looking after your skin, looking after your hair, like all of those things. Sometimes you just need to put yourself out there more as well until you can see someone receive you. Sometimes it might be that you're not giving enough of yourself or hiding yourself. But when someone receives you, accepts you for who you are, then you, I feel like, are able to grow and just flourish. That means you're gonna have to cut off people that do not want the best for you, who are triggered and jealous by the fact that you are developing and growing and they can't do the same for themselves. Shed those people like skin, because nothing will keep you in a bubble harder than people that bring you down like that. You gotta have faith, gotta believe that there is something coming at the end of this. At the same time, the journey is also part of the reward. I might get no views on this video. I didn't get any views in my previous video, literally 0 for the first 2 weeks, and I've been doing this for like over a month, and I've had 25 subscribers. I'm still like, that's amazing. Like, can you imagine if I had 20 clients and I was getting paid from those 20 clients? Truly, you've got to be your biggest hype man, and it has been tiring. But if I was just thinking about the reward on the other end of it, I would be missing out on this whole other journey, which is becoming more confident, expressing myself in front of the camera, learning how to write scripts, learning how to write in general. There's so many things that you're learning from this grind that you also need to like hold in and have appreciation for. If it's that feeling of anxiety that's stopping you, if it's literally the physical response, the feeling in your chest, the tightness behind your shoulders, the stomach wrenching feeling, when you're anxious about trying something, tell yourself, this isn't anxiety, this is excitement. You can't move yourself from anxious to calm, because anxious is a really agitated, high energy state. You need to move sideways, telling yourself that you're excited about this. And if you are like me and how I have been in the past, you don't want to get excited about something again because you failed in the past or someone mocked you for doing something in the past. I want to leave you with this last little thing. This life is for you. It is for you. You are born alone, die alone. You are the one that gets yourself out of bed in the morning. You are the one that puts yourself to sleep at night. You don't have any other job in this life, in this planet, this universe, other than look after and figure out yourself and move towards reaching your full potential. I don't want to stress you out, but you only have one life. You only have one life. One life. And you are blessed with it. I'm gonna get super spiritual here, and I'm not a spiritual person. The whole of human history and time, and you never existed before, and you'll never exist since. And you got this time. You won the lottery by just being here. And you're wasting it by not doing what you said you were gonna do. I just feel like it's your duty to the universe for giving you the gift of existence to reach your full potential and to be yourself. The universe brought you into this world as you and only you. There is a reason. It doesn't have to be some big fucking creator. It doesn't have to be religious. You just have to believe that there was a higher purpose for yourself on this planet. So don't disappoint the universe, babes. Stop watching this video, get up off your sofa, off your bed, off your couch, and go do the things that you said you were gonna do.